At 62, TD Jakes has finally broken his silence, confirming rumors that have been swirling about Bishop Paul Morton for years. What he revealed is shocking, controversial, and could change everything you thought you knew about one of the most influential figures in the church world. You won't believe what's been hiding behind closed doors, and this is where it gets really interesting. For decades, TD Jakes has been one of the most powerful voices in modern Christianity, respected, admired, and occasionally feared. But behind the pulpit, there have been whispers, rumors, and unconfirmed stories about some of the biggest names in the church world. Among them, Bishop Paul Morton has been at the center of speculation, debates, and controversy for years. Until now, no one had dared to address the elephant in the room publicly. But at 62, TD Jakes has finally spoken out, confirming details that insiders have quietly discussed for years. And the revelations are shocking. This is not just a story about church politics, it's about power, influence, and the complicated relationships between some of the most influential figures in ministry today. In this video, we're going to uncover what TD Jakes revealed, the history behind his relationship with Bishop Paul Morton, and why these confirmations are causing such a stir across the Christian community. We'll dive into the controversies, the rumors, and the secrets that have long been kept behind closed doors, revealing the real story that you won't hear anywhere else. You won't believe what happened next, and the truth might challenge everything you thought you knew about leadership, accountability, and influence in the modern church. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll see why this is one of the most talked about moments in ministry history, and why it's generating so much discussion online. To truly understand why TD Jakes' recent confirmation is so significant, we have to go back decades and explore the intricate history between him and Bishop Paul Morton. Both men are titans in modern ministry, but their paths have been intertwined with moments of collaboration, tension, and quiet speculation that few outsiders have ever fully understood. Bishop Paul Morton is a name that carries weight in church leadership circles, known for his influence, dynamic preaching, and leadership within large congregations. He has long been considered a key player in shaping modern Pentecostal and charismatic movements. T.D. Jakes, of course, needs no introduction. His conferences, books, and sermons have reached millions worldwide. Yet, despite their public successes, their relationship has not always been smooth. For years, insiders hinted at differences in vision and approach between the two leaders. While both men shared a commitment to spiritual growth and expanding their ministries, their methods and priorities often diverged. Jakes' focus on multimedia influence, global outreach, and mega conferences contrasted with Morton's more traditional church-centric approach, leading to both collaboration and subtle friction. Rumors of private disagreements and behind-the-scenes tension circulated in ministry circles. Some claim that Morton's decisions occasionally clashed with Jakes' larger organizational goals, while others suggested that their alignment on certain public initiatives was strategic rather than entirely harmonious. For years, these stories were unconfirmed, whispers that churchgoers and even fellow ministers discussed quietly, but no one dared bring to light publicly. Despite these undercurrents, the two men maintained a professional relationship, attending events together, endorsing each other in various initiatives, and appearing unified to the broader public. However, those familiar with their history knew there was more beneath the surface, more than just professional rivalry, but a complex blend of mutual respect, competition, and unspoken grievances. And this is where T.D. Jakes' recent confirmation comes into play. By finally speaking openly, Jakes has illuminated a side of his relationship with Bishop Morton that the public has only speculated about for years. The confirmation is not merely about personal disagreements, it's about decisions, influence, and perhaps controversies that have shaped both of their ministries in ways that the public has never fully grasped. But here's the shocking part. What T.D. Jakes revealed doesn't just clarify history, it raises new questions about accountability, influence, and the inner workings of church leadership at the highest levels. The details suggest that there's far more to this story than meets the eye, and the implications could ripple through the broader Christian community in ways few expected. For years, Bishop Paul Morton has been at the center of whispers that have circulated quietly through church networks, conferences, and these rumors were never fully confirmed, until now. They weren't the kind of gossip you'd hear in a casual conversation. These were serious allegations, ones that suggested influence, power struggles, and decisions behind the scenes that could shape entire congregations. Some insiders claimed that Morton had been involved in controversial financial decisions that benefited certain ministries while leaving others in uncertainty. Others hinted at personal conflicts with fellow ministers, sometimes creating tension that went far beyond mere personality clashes. And of course, there were stories about the impact of his leadership style, decisive, ambitious, and occasionally polarizing. To many, he was a visionary. To others, he was a source of concern. What made these rumors so compelling is that they often involved T.D. Jakes indirectly. As one of the most influential leaders in the Pentecostal movement, Jakes's relationship with Morton has always been under scrutiny. Observers noted that while the two collaborated publicly, behind closed doors, there were unspoken tensions and strategic disagreements. Some speculated that Morton's decisions had occasionally clashed with Jakes's vision for the broader ministry landscape, prompting quiet conversations among church leaders. Until recently, these stories were largely anecdotal, circulating as insider knowledge that few dared to confirm publicly. Congregants and ministry observers could only speculate, filling in gaps with their interpretations of events at conferences, church meetings, and public sermons. Social media amplified the speculation, with posts and commentary suggesting a hidden layer to the relationship between these two church giants. Then came the moment that changed everything. T.D. Jakes, in an unexpected address, confirmed key details about Bishop Morton that aligned with long-standing rumors. He did not simply acknowledge the stories, he addressed the context, the reasoning, and, in some cases, the outcomes of decisions that had long been misunderstood or misrepresented. This level of transparency was unprecedented. For years, the public only had fragments of the truth. Now, they had a direct confirmation from one of the most respected figures in modern ministry. But here's the twist. Jakes' statements didn't just confirm rumors, they also revealed complexities that many had overlooked. He spoke of challenges, pressures, and strategic choices that weren't about personal disputes, but about maintaining influence, guiding ministries, and navigating the often cutthroat environment of high-level church leadership. In other words, some of the controversies weren't scandals in the traditional sense, they were the difficult realities of leading large, influential ministries. Yet, even with context provided, the confirmation sent shockwaves through the church world. Questions began to surface. How much influence does one leader have over another? How do personal relationships shape ministry decisions? And, most importantly, what does this mean for congregants who trust these leaders implicitly? The intensity of the discussion only grew as media outlets, social media commentators, and church members dissected Jakes' statements. Every word was analyzed, every nuance debated, and every implication weighed. For many, it was a revelation. For others, it was validation of suspicions they had held for years. And here's where it gets even more fascinating. The confirmation from T.D. Jakes also hinted at things that he didn't fully reveal publicly, details so significant that insiders believe they could reshape understanding of church leadership dynamics for years to come. The public only saw a portion of the story, and speculation about the hidden details continues to grow, creating a swirl of intrigue that shows no sign of slowing down. T.D. Jakes' confirmation about Bishop Paul Morton didn't just make headlines, it sent shockwaves across the entire Christian community, both online and offline. Leaders, congregants, and ministry insiders were forced to reevaluate everything they thought they knew about the relationship between two of the most influential figures in modern ministry. Suddenly, long-standing assumptions, loyalties, and reputations were being scrutinized like never before. For congregants, the revelation brought a mix of shock, confusion, and curiosity. Many had trusted Bishop Morton for decades, viewing him as a moral compass and spiritual guide. To hear that some of the rumors circulating about him were, in fact, true, or at least confirmed by someone as respected as T.D. Jakes, challenged their perceptions. Questions arose. Does this change my faith in his leadership? Should I continue to support his ministry? And more broadly, what does this say about accountability within ministry networks? The fallout was immediate and multi-layered. Some leaders expressed support for Jakes, praising him for his transparency and courage in addressing sensitive topics. Others worried that such public confirmations could destabilize relationships between ministries and congregations, creating distrust and uncertainty in communities that had long relied on these leaders' guidance. Church insiders noted that such revelations often create ripple effects, shifts in alliances, reevaluation of partnerships, and sometimes even resignations or restructuring of ministry boards. Social media, of course, amplified the impact exponentially. Platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook were flooded with discussions dissecting Jakes' statements. Hashtags related to both TD Jakes and Bishop Morton began trending almost immediately, with thousands weighing in on whether the confirmation was necessary, overdue, or even damaging. Memes, commentary videos, and threads sprang up overnight, illustrating just how invested the public is in the dynamics between high-profile church leaders. The fallout also touched the broader perception of church leadership and accountability. Observers began asking critical questions. How often do influential leaders privately confirm what the public only speculates about? How much transparency should congregants expect from their spiritual leaders? And importantly, how do personal relationships and internal conflicts affect decisions that shape entire ministries? These questions aren't just hypothetical. They have real implications for how ministry is conducted, how church communities trust their leaders, and how the next generation of pastors approaches leadership. One of the most intriguing aspects of the fallout is the mix of reactions among clergy. Some see Jakes' decision to confirm the rumors as an act of integrity, a commitment to honesty even when it risks controversy. Others view it as a strategic move to control the narrative, ensuring that the story is framed in a way that minimizes potential damage while maintaining influence over public perception. The truth likely lies somewhere in between, but the debate highlights how even small confirmations or statements can trigger massive consequences in ministry circles. But here's the part that few people expected. The confirmation has also inspired a wave of reflection among churchgoers and leaders alike. Many are now asking themselves deeper questions about faith, judgment, and discernment. Is it fair to judge leaders based solely on rumors and public perception? How do we reconcile respect for spiritual authority with the need for accountability? And perhaps most importantly, what lessons can be drawn from the challenges faced by leaders like Jakes and Morton in navigating complex relationships, influence, and the expectations of millions of followers? In short, the fallout is far-reaching. It touches individuals, congregations, ministries, and the broader discourse on spiritual leadership. It challenges assumptions, prompts reflection, and sparks conversations that were long overdue. And while some of the repercussions are immediate, like public debates, online commentary, and renewed scrutiny of Morton's ministry, others will unfold gradually over time, potentially reshaping perceptions of leadership, transparency, and trust in ways that could last for years. The confirmation from T.D. Jakes about Bishop Paul Morton is more than just a headline. It's a moment packed with lessons for church leaders, congregants, and anyone navigating the complex intersection of faith, influence, and accountability. Beyond the shock, controversy, and online debates, there are insights that speak to leadership, transparency, and the challenges of guiding millions of followers in today's world. Lesson 1. The power of transparency. One of the clearest takeaways is the importance of transparency. For years, rumors and unconfirmed stories shaped public perception of Bishop Morton. Many of these assumptions were made without a full understanding of the context or reasoning behind decisions. By speaking out, T.D. Jakes demonstrated that addressing rumors openly, even when uncomfortable, can build credibility, clarify misunderstandings, and prevent the proliferation of misinformation. For church leaders, this is a critical reminder. Withholding information may seem safe in the short term, but it often fuels speculation and erodes trust over time. Lesson 2. Navigating complex relationships. The revelation also highlights the complexities of relationships among high-profile ministry leaders. Jakes and Morton are both influential figures, each with their vision, priorities, and responsibilities. Their relationship wasn't defined by a single conflict or scandal, but by decades of collaboration, occasional friction, and mutual influence. This teaches us that leadership is rarely
Leaders
must
must
navigate personal dynamics, differing visions, and sometimes competing priorities, all while maintaining the integrity of their mission. The story shows that even the most respected leaders must manage relationships with care, diplomacy, and honesty. Lesson 3. Accountability is key. Another lesson lies in accountability. The confirmation underscores that leaders, even those with immense influence, are subject to scrutiny. While the inner workings of ministries often remain private, transparency and accountability to congregants and fellow leaders are essential. When rumors persist, the perception of secrecy can damage trust, regardless of the truth. Leaders today must strike a balance between privacy and accountability, ensuring that decisions, strategies, and even conflicts are managed in ways that maintain integrity and respect for those they serve. Lesson 4. Critical thinking for congregants. This revelation also teaches an important lesson for churchgoers. It's a reminder that faith and leadership should coexist with critical thinking. Congregants are encouraged to observe, reflect, and question, not in a spirit of cynicism, but as an informed approach to understanding leadership, decision making, and ministry practices. Blind loyalty may lead to disillusionment when controversies arise, whereas informed engagement fosters a healthier, more resilient community. Jakes' statement serves as a call for followers to seek understanding, not simply accept narratives without context.